You weren't born to disappear. You weren't meant to sit in silence, nodding along while life passes you by like a train you never dared to board. There's something deep in, you call it fire, call it duty, call it truth, that doesn't let you rest when you're playing small. It whispers in quiet moments and roars in your darkest hours. You were made for more. That voice, that's not a dream. That's a demand. The world doesn't give you what you want. It gives you what you're willing to fight for, what you're willing to bleed for, what you're willing to discipline yourself for when nobody's watching and everything inside you wants to quit. This isn't about motivation. That fades. This is about transformation. Rewiring your mind to operate under pressure. Training your instincts to answer chaos with clarity. This is about standing in front of the mirror and refusing to blink. Because if you can't face yourself, how the hell are you going to face the world? You don't need more time. You don't need more advice. You need more courage. You need more fire in your spine and steel in your voice. You need to look at your excuses and burn them to the ground. Stop waiting for the right moment. You create it. You don't follow clarity. You lead with it. You decide what matters and you don't flinch. Your mind is your greatest weapon, but only if you forge it. Only if you break it down and rebuild it under the weight of pressure, vision, and purpose. Clarity doesn't come by accident. It's born through pain, through deciding what you will no longer tolerate from yourself, through cutting off the noise, the distractions, the doubt, and locking into a singular, unshakable direction. When your mind is clear, your energy stops leaking, your choices stop scattering, and suddenly, momentum shifts. You're no longer reacting. You're leading. You're no longer drowning in options. You are the storm. You don't chase purpose. You embody it. Purpose doesn't knock. It doesn't show up with fanfare or flashing lights. It rises when you stop asking what the world can give you and start demanding what you will give to the world. It's born when you tie your existence to something greater than comfort, something deeper than applause, something more relentless than fear. The world won't hand you meaning. You will carve it with blood, sweat, and unbreakable conviction. You want power? Start with discipline. The kind that shows up when you don't feel like it. The kind that says no to temporary highs and yes to long-term greatness. You want freedom? It's not out there. It's inside the structure you build. Your rituals, your code, your standards when no one's around. If you can't command yourself, someone else will. The weak react. The strong decide. The weak wait. The strong move. The weak pray for ease. The strong pray for endurance. And you, what are you made of? That's not a question for tomorrow. That's a question for now. Because every second you delay is a second you betray your own potential. Your vision must be blinding. It must burn so bright in your mind that nothing else matters. You don't dabble in it. You drown in it. You wake up with it in your chest and go to bed with it behind your eyes. You breathe it when others sleep. You speak it even when no one listens. And when the world calls you delusional, you smile because you know all revolutions start with a single unreasonable belief. Pain will come. Count on it. It's not your enemy. It's your forge. If it doesn't break you, it builds you. If you can breathe through it, you'll grow through it. You'll rise because of it. And that scar, that's not shame. That's proof. That's your armor. That's your story in ink. Don't run from it. Learn from it. And then weaponize it. Resilience isn't born in comfort. It's born in chaos. It's built when you show up beaten but not bowed, when you fall harder than you ever have and still rise with your fists clenched and your jaw set. Resilience says, this is not where it ends. This is where I begin again stronger, sharper, more focused. If you want to be unshakable, you've got to be willing to be shaken. You've got to walk through fire and come out carrying the flames. And you will be tested by time, by failure, by fatigue. There will be days you're misunderstood, days you're mocked, days you feel like nothing's working. Good. That's where most people quit. That's where you begin. Because greatness doesn't bloom in applause, it blooms in silence, in the dark, when no one sees you. That's where the real ones are made. You don't get stronger by avoiding pressure. You get stronger by facing it, embracing it, and bending it to your will. You rise by deciding that nothing, no opinion, no fear, no setback has the right to dictate your worth. Your value isn't up for debate. Your potential isn't a theory, it's a force. And every moment you act in alignment with it, the world shifts around you. Gratitude is not weakness, it's power. It's the strength to recognize what you have without growing soft. It's the awareness to stay grounded while aiming higher. Gratitude sharpens the edge. It keeps you steady when success whispers lies. It reminds you that you came from struggle, and you never forget how far you've climbed. But you don't stop. You use that gratitude as fuel to push harder, to reach further, to honor the gift of being alive with everything you've got. And yet, you stay flexible. Rigid minds break, fluid ones adapt. If the path shifts, you adjust. If the plan fails, you don't. You remain anchored in purpose, not obsessed with control. You know, power isn't in knowing everything, it's in becoming unafraid of anything. The game changes. The vision stays. You are not here to survive. You are here to build, to rise, to expand. The mission is not just to win, but to evolve while doing it, to sharpen your thinking, to upgrade your system, to become the kind of force that no setback, no insult, no failure can hold down. You weren't born to be average. You weren't built to blend in. The moment you accept that, the world either gets louder or you get louder. Choose wisely. So move. Move with clarity. Move with certainty. Move like your life depends on it, because it does. Not the physical shell, but the life within you that dies a little every time you hesitate, every time you shrink, every time you talk yourself out of what you were born to do. Action is your oxygen. Without it, your vision suffocates. Don't wait until you feel ready. You'll be waiting forever. You don't prepare for greatness by thinking. You prepare by doing, by building, by becoming. You don't rise by talking louder. You rise by living louder. You rise by walking into the day with precision, not panic. You rise by knowing that your time is not promised, so you will not waste another second pretending that comfort is safety. Comfort is a lie. It's a velvet coffin. It lulls you while your fire dies. If you want peace, earn it. Fight for it. Build it through clarity, not comfort. And what is clarity if not war against confusion? You want to be free? Get clear. Cut the excess. Say no to everything that doesn't match the future you're building. Say no to people who drain you. Say no to habits that numb you. Say no to versions of you that were built on survival when now you're choosing domination. You don't get to take everything with you. Burn what no longer serves. You are not here to carry the past. You're here to build the future. And if that future scares you, good. It means it's bigger than you. It means it demands more of you. And anything that demands more of you is showing you who you truly are. Let fear sharpen you. Let it ignite you. Let it become a signal, not a stop sign. You are not the voice of doubt. You are the voice that drowns it. You don't belong to fear. You belong to vision. Don't forget this. It's not about being perfect. It's about being relentless. Perfection is a cage. Relentlessness is freedom. It means you show up messy, loud, uncertain, and still execute. Still push. Still rise, even when the odds are stacked, even when the doors are closed, even when you're tired. Especially then, because that's when most people quit and that's when the uncommon thrive. Your story is not written by ease. It's written in resistance. And when resistance comes, you don't flinch. You smile. Because you've trained for this. You've sharpened for this. You've buried weakness in the soil and grown roots in pressure. When they question how you keep going, let your discipline be the answer. Let your silence be louder than their doubt. Let your execution speak what your mouth never has to. You want to lead? Then stop looking for followers. Start mastering yourself. Command your mornings. Design your days. Move with obsession and precision. You are not just passing time. You are sculpting legacy, brick by brick, breath by breath. The habits you tolerate will shape the life you inherit. The rituals you follow will become the future you meet. You are not random. You are not lost. You are chosen by your own choices. You are designed by your own discipline. You are created by what you repeat. And repetition is not boring. Repetition is power. Every rep, every step, every choice layers of armor on your soul. Most people want the result. Few will carry the weight. Carry it. Carry it when you're tired. Carry it when you're angry. Carry it when you're scared. That weight is not your enemy. It's the very thing that's shaping you. Weakness leaves when effort stays. Doubt dies when action lives. Clarity comes when you're too focused to entertain confusion. And strength? Strength is not found. It's forged repeatedly, quietly, brutally, but always intentionally. There will be voices telling you to slow down, to take it easy, to compromise, smile, nod, and keep moving. The loudest voice should be your own. The most consistent energy should come from within. When they question your intensity, don't justify item body it. When they fear your discipline, don't dilute I-town it. And when they watch your eyes, let them witness what happens when purpose meets action. The world is not fair. It doesn't have to be. That's your advantage. Because while others complain, you adjust. While others wait, you strike. While others break, you bend. This is not about what happens to you. It's about what you do about it. The stronger the wind, the sharper your wings. The harder the fall, the louder your rise. You do not control everything, but you control how you show up every day, every moment. That's your power. And that power compounds. It compounds through habits, through choices, through the moments no one sees. If you honor the invisible, you earn the impossible. And when it hurts, when you're crawling through resistance and nothing makes sense, keep going. You don't have to like it. You don't have to love it. You just have to do it. The storm will pass, but your growth will remain. The chaos will settle, but your character will echo. The pain will fade, but the power will stay. That's what this is about. Not ease, not perfection, not applause, growth, fire, legacy. And you will be tempted to lower your standards, to quiet your voice, to dim your fire just enough to make others comfortable. Don't. Never trade your greatness for approval. Never shrink so someone else can breathe easier in your presence. You weren't built to be understood by everyone. You were built to be undeniable, to be a force, to be a presence that shifts the energy in the room without even speaking. That doesn't come from arrogance, it comes from alignment. When your thoughts, your words, and your actions move in the same direction with ruthless consistency, you become untouchable. Alignment is lethal. When you stop betraying yourself for convenience, when you stop explaining your drive to people who've never tasted hunger, when you stop trying to fit into a world you were born to change, everything shifts. Opportunities move toward you. Resistance reveals your strength, and your very presence becomes a statement. I am not here to be liked. I am here to lead. Leadership is not a title. It's not handed to you. It's taken, earned, forged in moments when you want to run but choose to stay, when you want to fold but decide to focus. It's not about commanding other sits, about commanding yourself so intensely that your life becomes a compass for others who are lost. It's about becoming so anchored in purpose that chaos has no hold on you. But don't misunderstand, this path is not clean. It's not polished. It's not romantic. It's violent. It's lonely. It's filled with internal war and external resistance. But it's also real, pure, and necessary. You cannot create impact without cost. You cannot create change without breaking the mold. And you cannot claim your future while clinging to your past. There comes a point when you must decide, are you interested or are you committed? Interested is convenient. Committed is brutal. Interested shows up when it's easy. Committed shows up even when it's hell. Interested wants the reward. Committed loves the process. Interested waits for inspiration. Committed is the inspiration. And when you choose commitment, truly choose it, the world either breaks you or bows to you. And you must become immune to distraction. Not because distraction is bad, but because your focus is sacred. You don't let everything in. You don't scroll for dopamine hits while your mission starves. You don't chase everything, you pursue one thing with deadly aim. Because you understand that attention is currency, and you're not spending yours on what doesn't multiply your impact. This is about intensity. Not hype, not energy spikes, not the short bursts of passion that fade by noon. This is the kind of intensity that lives in your rituals, in your calendar, in your decisions, in the food you eat, the words you speak, the people you allow near your energy. This isn't noise, it's discipline in motion. You want to be powerful? Get intentional, get structured, get sober to your own potential. Build a system so clear that success becomes inevitable not because you hope, but because you execute, day after day. Whether you're seen or not, whether it feels good or not, whether anyone claps or not, because this is not about the crowd, this is about your character. And character is forged in private long before it echoes in public. Let your life be proof that consistency beats talent, that fire beats comfort, that vision beats noise. Let your routine become your rebellion. Let your stillness become your storm. Because while others wait for the right time, you'll become the right person. While others dream of someday, you will dominate today. And understand this, no one is coming to save you. No mentor, no book, no lucky break. This is your war. And it will be won, not in one massive victory, but in 1,000 invisible choices. And waking up and deciding again and again and again that you refuse to be average, that you refuse to let this life pass untouched by greatness. There is no arrival. There is only next, and next, and next. The moment you pause too long to admire your progress, the fire softens. That's not what you're here for. You're here to lead, to build, to execute, to become. Not once, not twice, but daily, ruthlessly, relentlessly. Because that's the price of greatness, and you've already decided to pay it. So build in silence, with fire, with clarity, with gratitude, with intensity. Let your breath be calm and your spirit be wild. Let your mind be sharp and your actions be violent in precision. You don't need more time. You need more focus. You don't need more followers. You need more discipline. You don't need more inspiration. You need more execution. This is how the strong are made, not by chance, not by praise, but by the pressure they choose, the chaos they conquer, and the clarity they command. Then rise. Rise not just from where you are, but from who you were. Break your own rhythm. Shatter your own limits. Refuse to be a monument to past versions of yourself. This is your becoming. Not the loud, polished, performative rise that seeks applause, but the raw, violent emergence of a new self who no longer negotiates with weakness, no longer tolerates hesitation, no longer answers to fear. Fear is loud. But it is not truth. It is not law. It is not your master. You are not here to be ruled by anxiety, doubt, or the ghosts of failure. You are here to stand in front of every voice that told you, you can't, and answer with action. You are here to bury the patterns that kept you silent. You are here to override your programming. You are here to become the threat your comfort zone was always afraid of. And you will. Because now you're awake, you've stopped hoping, stopped waiting, stopped begging for permission. You see what's at stake, you see what's possible, and you see that the gap between who you are and who you could be is bridged by one thing only: action. Not one day, not tomorrow, now. Now is not a suggestion. Now is war. War against everything soft and slow and small inside of you. War against the laziness that wears excuses like armor. War against the version of you that is loud in dreams and quiet in execution. War against every comfort that numbed your ambition. Now is where everything changes if you decide it. There is no weakness in you, only parts of you that haven't been challenged enough. Only parts of you still living in someone else's narrative. Rewrite it, in sweat, in structure, in silence. Rewrite it every time you rise early while others sleep. Rewrite it every time you choose discipline over dopamine. Rewrite it until the world can no longer recognize who you used to be. The fire is in you now. Not the spark of potential, but the blaze of decision. You've tasted your power. You felt what happens when you stop lying to yourself, when you stop negotiating with distractions, when you stop pretending that you have forever. You don't. And that's the gift. That's the urgency. That's the pressure that forms diamonds out of dust. You want legacy? Then build it in the dark. Build it when you don't feel like it. Build it when your back hurts, your mind is heavy, and no one believes. Especially then, because that's when the real ones rise. That's when history bends. That's when transformation begins. Quiet, brutal, absolute. And when you build it, don't just build it for you. Build it for every soul who never believed they were enough. Build it for the child version of you that needed a hero. Build it for the next generation who will never hear your name but will walk paths that only exist because you had the guts to walk first. That's purpose. That's legacy. That's the weight you were born to carry. So carry it with strength. Carry it with focus. Carry it with the savage discipline of someone who doesn't just dream but executes. You are the answer. You are the shift. You are the threat to mediocrity that no one saw coming. And when the dust settles, when the pain fades, when your bones are tired and your voice is gone, you will not regret a thing, because you lived fully. You fought honestly. You rose relentlessly. You demanded more. You chose greatness. And in doing so, you became what the world desperately needed. Proof that the strong are not born. They are made.